Hi guys, so I wanted to walk through with you the way the first midterm is going to work. And as I've mentioned in a previous video, you're going to have to sign up with ProctorU in order to take the first midterm. And I have the information about how to sign up with ProctorU now on iLearn. I've posted that under the announcements section. So actually, let me get out of this full screen mode so you can see where on iLearn I have put that. So under announcements, you see ProctorU instructions, and if you're seeing this video, you also figured out where the video is, where I'm going to walk you through some aspects of these ProctorU directions. Okay, now when you actually take the exam, and the exam, let's just make sure we're all on the same page as to when the exam is going to be, because I had someone in my office here earlier and I was telling her the wrong date. The exam is going to be the week of 9/23 through 9/29. Now, what does that mean? That means that we're finishing up Chapter 3, obviously, this week. Today's September 10th, so we're finishing up Chapter 3 this week. Next week, you have Midterm Prep Week. With Midterm Prep Week, what you're going to do is you're going to take a look at the Practice Midterm Final module, and you're going to see first Practice Midterm 1. You're going to see a lecture there that I have done of that at an earlier time, but you can see what my comments are on that practice midterm. There's a second practice midterm down here that if I can get the time to put the lecture together on that, I will do that as well. Okay, but you definitely have this first practice midterm. You should look at both of them. You have the lecture. Okay, so that's what we're doing this upcoming week, and then the exam is going to be the week after that. Okay, and you can take the exam anytime during this week-long period. Okay, so what I want to do is go ahead and get into ProctorU, where you can see that, and I'll show you how to follow the instructions to get to San Francisco State University, but you'll find your exam, Accounting 100 Midterm 1, and when I click on that, you can see that the exam will open Monday at 9/23/2019, 9/23 on Monday. It'll open at 12 a.m. and it'll stay open almost that entire week, Sunday 9/29 at 8 p.m. Pacific time. These are all Pacific times. Then it'll close. And they told me to do this. I was going to have it open all the way until 11:59 on the 29th, and ProctorU said, no, don't do that, because students get 3 hours. You get 3 hours to work the exam, and they didn't want me to put it so that you wouldn't be allowed the full 3 hours if you had set your appointment too late. So that's why they cut it off at 8 o'clock. So you can schedule your exam for a 3-hour period anytime within this window, from Monday the 23rd at 12 a.m. all the way through to Sunday the 29th at 8 p.m. Okay, but once you log in to take your exam, you're going to have to take your exam in iLearn under the Watchful Eye of ProctorU. You will only have 3 hours to complete that exam. Okay, so that's the way that's going to work. We've got next week for midterm prep. Okay, as I just showed you, next week for midterm prep, and then that following week during that time window that I just showed you, you will take midterm 1, which will cover chapters 1 through 3. The exam that I'm going to give you guys is going to be very, very similar to the practice midterms that we've had for each chapter, and then those 2 practice midterms covering material from chapters 1 through 3 that I just showed you under the practice midterm module. If you master that material, there's no reason that you shouldn't get a good grade on that exam. Okay? All right, now when you take the exam, you will have to arrange with ProctorU to watch, but when you take the exam, you'll come under the exams module. Now you don't see anything there now because I haven't stuck the exam up there yet, okay, but you'll see the exam there, and you'll be able to start taking that at 12 o'clock on Monday the 23rd. And again, anytime within that time window we just looked at. Once you start it, you only have 3 hours, and it'll be 30 multiple choice questions, by the way. 30 multiple choice questions. 3 hours for 30 multiple choice questions. Pretty generous amount of time for you to be able to take that exam. Okay? All right, now let me put back this ProctorU instructions, okay, how it works, okay, and you are a test taker, and so we're going to talk about creating an account, scheduling the exam. I'm not going to spend as much time with connecting to the proctor because I think that's pretty self-explanatory once you get in, okay, but let's take a look at those first couple of steps. I'm going to go to full screen here, okay, and so you have to create an account. You have to go to this goproctoru.com/registrations, okay? You are a test taker, so you'll have to go to the test taker and fill in the appropriate information, okay? And they're going to make you do things like agree to the terms and conditions, etc., okay? Now after that, when you log in, after you've created the account, you're going to go to My Exams page, okay, and when you go to the My Exams page, here they give you the option of setting exam preferences, days that you think you might want to take the exam. I think that this is more to help them to make sure they have enough proctors available. Again, you have to take the exam within those time windows I talked about, but they like to know, are you a day, morning, or are you a morning person? Are you a Monday exam taker, or are you a Wednesday exam taker? So more for their purposes, okay? But after you log in, you're presented with the My Exams page, okay? And you can always get the help, the live chat, testing your equipment. I recommend you do test your equipment, and then you schedule your new exam, okay? And so after clicking schedule the new exam, confirm your institution, San Francisco State, select the exam, Accounting 100, and you just saw how that looked on my screen, okay? Then you're going to go ahead and find the session and proceed, okay? And so we take a look at figure 6 over here, and you have the steps here in which you'll tell them around the time, day you want to take the exam, and they'll give you dates that are available for closest to the time that you've selected, okay? Once you do that, you go ahead and you select the exam, okay? Select the desired appointment. We've already selected the exam, but select the day and time that you want to take the exam using the calendar, find the available time, and choose your exam accordingly, okay? Now there is a pay requirement. It's going to cost you $25 just to take this one exam. We're only going to proctor one, guys, so I know it's tough to sometimes have to pay $25 to take an exam, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this one exam with ProctorU. It's going to cost you $25, so you'll add that to your card, etc., okay? And if you needed to change, you could. Okay, now connecting to the proctor, I am not going to get as much into this because that's going to be sort of an interactive process. When it's time for your exam, you'll go ahead, you'll log in, and you will interact with the proctor. You're going to have to show them your ID. You're going to have to get the your face on your camera. You don't block your camera. I had someone in here says, oh, I guess I better unblock my camera when I do this. Yes, they're going to be watching you, okay? You could also connect to the proctor and have them help you at that point in time, okay? So just make sure, guys, that you give yourself enough time to go through this process. They won't count it against you, against your 3 hours, but give yourself sufficient time to go through this process when you are when you're finally logging in and taking your exam, okay? So the first thing, though, main thing for you to do is go ahead and create that account, okay? Create that account, find your exam, and go ahead and pick a time to take your exam, okay? All right, that's the main thing that I wanted to share with you. I think again that if you are doing I've had some folks ask, oh, when are the quizzes? When is the homework due? The way I've set up the homework, okay, you can turn that in for credit anytime between now and the completion of the class, and I'll give you the points, and you get points for the attempt. So if you're having some troubles and connects a little bit quirky and does some weird things, don't worry, submit that homework. You'll get the points for that particular homework assignment. I'm not going to penalize you for little nickels and dimes on the homework, okay? I'm just wanting you to do that homework so you get some extra practice. The main documents at this point are the slides, the lecture videos that I'm posting, and again, as I've said in the earlier video, unfortunately, those are older lecture videos. The material is still current. It's just that I'm making references to things that probably happened, a year or so ago. So don't be distracted by that. I will post up the new lecture once I get it, but my live class is on a Thursday, and we're starting our weeks on Monday, so I have the older ones up there as a placeholder until I can put the newer ones up as well. But you can use those older lectures. So you look at the slides, you watch the lecture, okay? Then your next key document is going to be the practice midterm for each chapter, and now those new comprehensive chapter 1 through 3 practice midterms that I put up, watching the lectures of that. If you master those practice midterms, there is no reason in the world that you should not be successful on your exam. Okay, guys, good luck, and we'll see you on the next video.